Hello, namaste, welcome back to channel 7th Blue Star. I'm your host, Ed Windhorse, aka Sri Edvardo. The list goes on. Anyway, this is part 2 of basically a 3-part installment titled Project Love Bomb. Of course, there was an introduction, but this is part 2 of the 3 major parts. And we're dealing with, the crucial part of the love bomb. So I'll try not to get too complicated or too sidetracked in my explanation. Explanation is infinite on this one, so I'm just going to have a swing at it. Yesterday, or 24 hours ago or whatever, we were in part 1 and 1A and 1B. We basically were talking about the basic concepts of love bomb, the 3 parts involved, and we talked a little bit about the energy that we are yielding, where it's coming from, this energy, center mass, that includes more than just your physical representation of mass, but it includes other kinds of energy, that's in there between the atoms, the quantum energy. That's what's really giving you the big yield in the bomb when you learn how to explode it. So here's the energy we're blowing up, and I've changed the camera angle a little so you can actually see what I'm talking about here. This energy here, center mass. Plus this is a cool shirt. Wanted to show it off some more. Anyway, that's what we're blowing up. This big heart energy, love bomb. And the detonation device is between our ears. Our consciousness is our detonation device. And I mentioned last night that you can't really detonate a bad love bomb anyway, but love bombs can't be, and really don't want to be, deployed by people who have hate and anger and destruction in their hearts anyway. So, that is what it is, and we're doing something to counteract that. So I'm going to move forward here with this detonation system between the ears. I watch those redneck scientists sometimes, and they're very funny. Anyway, I digress, as often happens. This big detonation device, consciousness, does have the third component, as I mentioned last night, and that's a certain timing device or a delay device that's part of the detonation system. But it's the third part that kind of makes the whole thing a little better package. So that's why we're talking about the 3 components, and today we're talking about detonation system or consciousness. Now, I'm making reference love bomb to nuclear bombs. It's a very loose reference, because nuclear bombs they actually use force to drive things together to get the energy that holds it at a very small level yield. The process of a love bomb is really like the sun, where the gravity of the 2 energies that are being fused naturally, organically pull the process into motion. So it's not a forced motion. That's why it's constructive, not destructive in many factors. It's natural. It's it's a love bomb. Anyway, this consciousness, there's so many ways to detonate a bomb. That's the meat of any bomb system, is how effective the detonation system is. And your detonation system can get very, very precise, especially when you get into the timing device and the finer components of the love bomb that we'll discuss in part 3, which is forthcoming very soon, maybe a day or two. I'll let these last 2 days sink in a little bit. Anyway, so we've got this great detonation device, and the detonation device is related to our consciousness, or our ability to realize, one, the energy we're dealing with, two, how to, well, the list goes on, how to yield it most effectively and most timely. So the cool thing with the love bomb is the detonation device actually becomes more than just the catalyst, okay? Because this detonation device is actually this consciousness energy is an active energy that's actually fusing with this energy below it. It's not just a trigger mechanism. So it's a trigger mechanism that yields more than just a click, if you will. It's almost like, the bigger fission bombs that use an explosion to set off another explosion. That's about all I know or can say about that. But the love bomb is really a simple device. And the more you understand how your own mind works and your consciousness works, or as we become more aware up to a certain point in life, and then sometimes the awareness starts to wane, but midlife, between midlife and that certain real peak into the golden years, consciousness and consciousness can go to right at death's door, or whatever you want to call death. But consciousness can continue rising all the way to death. And that's, you're basically realizing how to make bigger and better love bombs all the way through life. It's, it's not only the best defensive mechanism, but it keeps you from being offensive, because it's a constructive tool. So then people don't want to retaliate negatively. If anything, it will neutralize a negative force long enough for that negative force to realize it can choose at free will to represent a little less negative force, charge, reaction, whatever. I think you get my point. So, the love bomb is putting more positive stuff out there in a mental way, because the physical world is proven scientifically, not just theoretically. The physical world is known to follow a mental thought, or that we can prove through experiments that the mind is linked to the physical world, and what the mind thinks can appear in the physical world and affect the physical world that we're looking at. That's a form of quantum entanglement, and that's as much as I need to say that right now, but it shows how everything is connected. So, great detonation device here, and as we become more aware of this energy in this area, and like I said last night, we become more energy aware here, just sitting and breathing, just paying attention, sitting, breathing, and paying attention to not thinking about the other stuff, just getting into your breath. If you can do a little before you go to sleep at night and a little as you wake up in the morning, 10 minutes makes a huge difference. Anyway, the breathing gives you the brain activity that helps you increase your consciousness. And if you're sitting doing the breathing, your body doesn't need to process the oxygen, obviously, because you're not moving. So you can use the oxygen more optimally in your mind for greater joy as you make more and more love bombs. So I don't know, I think this is probably at least 7 minutes, and I'm not going to ramble on anymore. I could talk about this stuff for hours, and I don't want to do that because We have short attention spans now. So I hope this is between 7 and 9 minutes. Certainly not over 10. Now we've got two basics. We've got a better understanding about this energy we're blowing up. A little better understanding about the detonation device, which is consciousness, which is electrical, just like most detonation devices, I should add. Key ingredient, electrical is the detonation device. Brain's electrical. Subtle electrical, but very electrical. And then the trigger device, which is how to control your detonation system as your consciousness develops and you understand the energy at play in your consciousness, which coincidentally or otherwise is the same energy as you're realizing here, but just at a different level of manifestation. It's all good. You've heard that term. I've said the term. But in the basic sense of energy, good being its smallest form and good with an infinity symbol, that's trademarked and that's part of the paying forward stuff. So I'd love to talk to anyone who understands the first book I'm writing right off the bat. Anyway, I'm really happy to be sharing Project Love Bomb 2016 with you. It's needed in this world, as you're all aware of. You're aware at some level, let's put it that way. And that right there proves that, awareness, consciousness, detonation system for the love bomb, we can learn how it works and increase it and lower it accordingly. So it's kind of giving the power to the people, but it can't be misused. So it's a win-win-win to the infinite symbol when you really think about it, and you don't have to think about it for long to realize I'm not jerking your chain. I know more than through personal experience. A lot of my teachers have personal experience, and you really don't understand this stuff until you experience it for yourself. Sitting down, going into your consciousness, exploring your own detonation system component of the love bomb. So I think I've gone on now way too long. Peace, namaste to the whole world. Believers, non-believers, really everyone. See you soon. Sometime before June.